You're welcome back to this segment of Engendered on KAFTAN TV. And like we said before the break, Engendered is a show where we analyze and discuss all issues that affect the female gender. And as usual, we're not always alone in the studio. We either come with our friends, we come with our guests. Not because they're not our friends, but because they are guests for them. They are guests and they come here to lecture us or inform us on what we do not know. And today we're going to be discussing a very, very important question. It's been like an important topic. And that particular topic has been causing some, will I say, controversies and some issues. Some people are not sure on where to stand or where they should fall into, the category to fall into. And we're doing that analysis today with Akinwole Beatrice Ishaya. She's the CEO of Girls Pride Foundation. You're welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, man.
Glad to have you here. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, let me start before we delve into our topic. How have you been faring and coping? Cashless policy, fuel scarcity, elections. Which one has been on your mind?
Cashless policy.
Okay. So how did that affect you?
Wow. The cashless policy really affected programs, the mentorship and the sensitization program we do.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to hold on for a while.
Okay.
For the whole thing to, come back to normal. So that's it.
Yeah, it's just your sensitization issue.
Personally,
like, like I know most people will complain that I don't have cash to go to work and all those little things. Like,
it also affected that area in time of going out to do your usual activity, and then wanting to go around to get some things. You get to a place and it said the mobile apps are not working, so it wasn't really funny. But everything is coming back to normal.
Yeah,
gradually.
everything is coming with the fact that the CBN have acknowledged that the old notes can go back into circulation. So we hope by next week things should be normal.
Okay, like me personally, it has not been funny for me at all. I'm always sharing this experience. It's not funny going to the market.
Sure.
Moving along places, like people are complaining daily of how it's affecting them, though it has a positive and negative aspect, but we're not used to being a cashless society. We're used to having cash. If you go on the road, you want to buy some things and stuff like that. I think it has helped me curb some impulse spending like that. So we're going to be discussing today gender equality or equity, embracing equity. Like when we celebrated International Women's Day last week, I think the theme was embracing equity. And for you, that's what I was talking about, this particular topic, that it has caused a lot of controversy. Some people explaining what gender equality is from their own perspective. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do better and stuff like that. So for you, what do you think, or how can you explain gender equality?
Okay, gender equality, to me, it's something that should give everyone, you and I, the opportunity, the right to so many things like education and access to healthcare also. Just like everyone, irrespective of who you are, having that right as women to, every other opportunities the other gender could have, and then some responsibilities that they feel women cannot do. We should be given that opportunity to showcase that we can do more. So that's how I see equality. And then equality has to also play a role when you give a room for women and girls to also go into economical policies, and then advantage to some positions, and then some roles to play in terms of policy level. When I mean policy level is you wanting to come out for any position like House of Rep, Senator, Councillor. Are women given the chance to come out? So those are the aspects we need to talk about equality. Women need that opportunity, you know, to become who they want to become. Not just women, we have girls too. When you say women is in general, we have girls, we have older women. And then so you look at it, we should be given that opportunity to, you know, showcase what we have, and then also play our role in, as mothers, let me use that word, as mothers. There's nothing you can do without women. Women are powerful, and women make things right. Women contribute a lot. You might think women are just there to cook, women are there to just, you know, take care of children, be in the kitchen, but it's way more than that. You know, same as even bigger organization lets women also partake in key positions also, not just the other gender. So equality, when you say equality, it has to do with carrying women along in whatsoever you're doing in a nation, because women are the nation builders. If you really want to get something, if you don't carry women along, then I'm not saying you will not achieve it, but the force it carries when you carry women along is wow. So that's how I see equality.
Okay, is there a difference between gender equality and gender equity? Is there a difference?
Sure, there's a difference. There's a difference. When you say gender equality, is just as I said, giving everyone the rights that we all deserve, giving every woman, every girl, child, our rights, and then the opportunity we need to excel. So equality comes in providing for all, right? Providing for those that are not opportune, you know. When I said equality, giving opportunity, giving us our rights, you know, and our responsibility, while equity is providing for all. Providing for all in the sense that we have older women. Just like I said in policy, you have older women that are there, and then we have the ones that are coming up. We also have the ones that want to and they don't have the opportunity. The opportunity in the sense that providing financial resources, yeah, and then equally the capital they need to become who they want to be. You understand? So equality really talks about you just carrying everyone along, irrespective of your circumstance or who you are. Just carrying or your gender. This is not talking about just gender. Equity, that's equity, sorry. I'm talking about equity now. Equity is carrying everyone along. Provide for everybody to reach their goal. That is equity. So I see equity as something that when you empower, let me use empowerment for instance, when you empower women, not just empowering them, what do they use in starting up? You need to provide what they will need to start up. You don't just empower and leave them where they are. You need to provide that financial resources for them.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, so I saw an instance where someone mentioned that equity, for example, if I come here and share a shoe of size 42 for everybody, and maybe you wear 38 and maybe you wear 40, that is not equity. Equity is literally being fair, getting you your particular shoe size. Because just like you mentioned, if you're trying to establish someone's business and then give the person a space, you need to still make sure that you help the person with the things they need to stock up their shop to make sure that they start selling. So I want to ask you now in about this gender equality, not equity now. Okay. What are those challenges or what are those pressing needs that makes women demand for gender equality?
Okay, the main number one thing is that education. A lot of women are not educated. Here, let me use FCT for instance.
All right.
When you go to rural communities, you get to find out that we have a lot of dropouts, and we have a lot of women that were not opportune at all to go to school, while some were dropout, some reason or the other, they could not attend school. So education is a key to equality. You need to provide education for women and girls. Girl child education is very important. So another thing I think is critical is the healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah, the healthcare section. A lot of women down there, I keep talking about rural women because they are the ones suffering more. They don't have access to good healthcare. So when you look at that aspect, healthcare is very poor. That needs to be looked at, that they can access healthcare like every other person. Same with the education I'm talking about. So I would also like to talk about accessing a land as a woman. The privilege to have
to own properties.
To own properties, own land for yourself, because there are some cultures that when you go to or when you hear about them, women are being, will I use the word cheated?
Cheated.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of sharing properties or sharing land.
For example, inheritance.
Yes,
now.
Inheritance. So, and if the land is the inheritance, nothing else.
They give it to the male gender.
They give it to male gender, that's it. So that aspect needs to be touched. That aspect of land needs to be touched. So those are the key things, I think.
Okay, if we're talking about education now,
yes.
But some people would say that they're now, like for example, most people or most communities have access to free education for some places. So what is stopping or hindering the female gender from accessing education?
Okay. Most of those communities, they have government schools that are free, not all that have those schools. We have issue of PTA. The school might be free, but you still have PTA to pay. And these people are very poor, like very poor that they cannot even afford the PTA. So my own view is, why not make everything free? Like,
but does that not affect both the female and male gender, the PTA?
The PTA, the PTA affects the both, but I don't know. Let me say, most of those schools and most of those communities, they believe women
should not go to school.
Should not go.
Okay.
And then some cultures will permit you to get married on time.
Early marriage.
So child marriage is also one of those things hindering that
the female from going to school.
Having that same access to education. That child marriage is also a key. Not really the PTA alone. Some cultures permits you to get married on time, and some religions permit you also to get married on time. So those are really the barriers on achieving that equality. So it's something we need to keep fighting on, for things to get better.
Okay. Now, talking about this fight for gender equality, don't you think the male gender feels threatened that once a woman gets there, or wants to rub it to their face? Don't you think that is also because I was opportune to talk to some male gender, and I was like, okay, don't you think if a woman is doing social thing, would you be threatened and feel that this is my job, a woman should not do it? And I got response like, yes, why will a woman venture into such things? These are things that men does. These are things that women should not do. Why would you do? Now, apart from that, are they, I know society have really done enough. Are they work that this work is particularly for women? Is there anywhere stated that this work is for women, this work is for men?
It's not stated anywhere. And the issue of men feeling threatened with how women will become tomorrow.
They go to school.
I feel having this good time sensitization with men will go a long way, not with women now. Sensitizing the men for them to understand that anything you're going for as a woman, you're going there because of him, in order to support him, not rule over him. Because whenever we are having this sensitization program, we do counsel the girls that irrespective of what you become, the man is still the head. So you must maintain that, maintain and have that mindset that the man is still the man.
I like that one.
You understand? Irrespective of who you become, you're meant to be his supporter. So they too need to get this good sensitization that the women are here to support you, not to ride you or not to be above you. And they need to understand the reason why she needs to support for the home to go balance. Yeah.
Okay, but if you're talking about the woman, you mentioned something that the woman is doing it to support the man. What about doing it for myself? Because eventually we still have a high percentage of women that are not married and will not get married, and they don't think that they need a man in their life. So what happens to the place of I'm doing it for myself, to build myself? Does it have to be for a man? Does it have to be because of a man?
You're getting me wrong. What I'm trying to say is not taking up who you want to be because of the man. For a married woman, you definitely have to support your home. And when you're not married, you need to stand and you know, work for yourself, what you want, you know, push further to become great. And then I don't wish any woman not getting married tomorrow. I know there are some issues
some
that
people don't want to.
Yeah, there might
because of maybe trauma,
some trauma, and then what you've seen other people going
Yeah.
through. But it doesn't stop you from becoming who you want to be, even without you having a man. So I was trying to balance it, whether you're married or not, and you have a man in your life, even if it's your brother. You shouldn't have, you shouldn't be a president today, and then when you see your elder brother and you decide to say, who are you? Your brother remain your elder brother, whether you like it or not. And your father remain your father. He's a male gender. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah.
So there's this respect you just have to give them, that give someone that is older than you, and then you shouldn't just disrespect anyone, even if you are both in terms of position. Maintain that dignity.
Okay, but why do you feel the male gender gets threatened at the success of a woman? Because if we're talking about equality now, they should be able to do what they want to do freely. Nobody disturbs them. Nobody is scared. I'm not seeing a woman saying, okay, maybe it's rare. Some people might have said, I've not heard of a woman saying, I don't want to work here because it's a man that is above me. But you've seen instances where a man comes to people and says, it's even a woman that is my boss. Why? I can't work here. I can't be serving under a woman. You get stories like that sometimes.
Yes.
So now, why are they insecure? Why are they bothered? Why is it a problem? Because we have come to the point where we're talking about almost every man claims to be woke and civilized 21st century, and he's fighting for the female gender. But there are still some instances where you still even hear, for example, permit me to say this, like some people on social media.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video when the president-elect, when he was giving his speech, and he said, he called his wife's name senator, this, that she will no longer be a senator. She now has to pay attention to the other room. Before he could even say, she already said it, the other room. So now, some people are of the school of thought that, oh, why does she not have to step down from where she was? Why can't she still continue? Why does it not have to go back to the other room? So now, not me saying, but what's on the street has it that they are still of the opinion that the female gender still has to be subjected to them and still has to serve them. Why the insecurity? Why are they scared?
It goes back to the sensitization that I mentioned.
We
Men really need
sensitization a lot.
Yes, they still need it.
They
still need that
I want to chip something.
sensitization.
You know, from creation,
Yes.
they said God created Adam, and He instructed Adam to do a lot of things. Okay, according to my friend was like, why didn't God create Eve? I was like, okay, Eve, do these things, then he'll now recall that, okay, we need a man or something. But He created Adam and gave him these obligations, these instructions, before he now remembered that, okay, this man, we need a woman to support him. I feel that's my own school of thought.
You think he just later remembered? You think he later remembered?
That what?
Like
After the whole thing he created, he was like, okay, you will need a woman too.
But he knew from the beginning that he would need a woman.
Yes. But this, I'm trying to illustrate that women, naturally, you are to support. You are there to support. True. Now, it's not like you, women, you cannot be who you want to be. But I want every woman in there to know that don't try to override, because I know most women are like that. Once they get any opportunity, they feel, I will have to override my husband. Yeah. I have to override my brother or any other thing. But they should keep it at the back of their mind that you are there to support, so that these men, I know most of them are threatening, whether they like it or not, they can have their rest that, okay, they know. But most of them, they don't know. Everybody don't know their role. You have to know you are meant to play this role. I was discussing with someone earlier, and the person was like, okay, then God created us to be the provider or something like that. Why a woman is to support? If you know that I'm to go out there, provide, and come back, and my woman is to support me, I don't think it still boils down to sensitization.
Yeah. But you know, some of this men still mistake it, because why I'm saying this is that I don't think some people understand where a woman is being bossy or overriding and where she's just attaining success. Okay. For instance, there was one of my aunt's friend. Then she said she wanted to leave her marriage. What happened? She was a bank manager. She started from just being an ordinary cashier, and she kept going up until she became a bank manager. Her husband didn't like it. He was threatened. And at that point, she was still doing everything she needed to do in the home. Okay, initially, the husband used to help out, make breakfast for the children, drop them at school. When he saw that she was getting to the point where she was going to become the bank manager, he said he was not going to do it again, that she should now step down and do her duties.
And you will see now, that man is threatened.
So now,
and then
did she do anything wrong?
Let me say something on what you said. Just like I said, she needs to know some level of her responsibility. That is why I said, no matter the level you get to, don't forget you have some responsibility. Yes. There are ways you can manage it, but don't let it take the whole of you. With what you're saying, she didn't really remember she had some responsibility.
But when she didn't have anything, he was doing it. Do you get? Even when she was just an ordinary person at the bank, he was doing it. He didn't have a problem with it. But when he saw that, maybe the threat was that, this woman's salary is beginning to be more than my own, or I don't know, that kind of thing. Because if at first he has not been doing it, maybe there will be a challenge. But he has been doing it from the onset, and all of a sudden you stop at that point when she even needs your help the more. What happens to men supporting women? We still understand that they are the heads of the home.
Yes.
We respect them, but what happens to men supporting women?
On this point, I feel he was doing too much. Why I said he was doing too much? She needed, at the position she was, she needed to make it balance, because he has been doing it from onset until he became tougher. He can't do it alone. Well, it's not possible.
No.
But what if it will get to a place where he will get tired alone?
I wouldn't support you saying he got tired. The only thing I would support you saying is they should just get a balance. I will go for balance than him saying he's tired. If he's tired, I will not go for that.
No, when they were tired, leaving everything for him, all because you are now the bank manager.
No.
Wait, we'll get there.
Okay.
We just need to make it balance. That he will have some time for himself, and then you have time for your job, and there's time for the children. You make provision based on your level. where you are.
And you know there's another thing. Every man wants to still feel like the man. Even if you are not working, even if you are not doing anything, they still want to feel the man. But so once you make them not feel man, they feel threatened.
But when she was an ordinary person at the bank, he didn't feel threatened.
Let me tell you
something. He didn't feel like he was not the man.
There should be something that made him feel threatened.
That's what I'm telling you now. She rose to a level where he cannot handle.
Let's say the fact. We women, there's a level we get to, and then we feel,
you can fly.
I can fly.
We can actually fly.
Yes, we can fly, but
don't forget your responsibility.
You fly with which word will I use for it? You shouldn't just fly because you can fly. You fly with dignity, like you fly with knowing this is where I am and this is who I am. This is who I used to be even before I got here. So you need to just make it balanced. But we women, it's natural. It's just nature. Some women, when you're there, you forget your responsibility. You just forget who you used to be.
But my concern for this particular incident is that, for example, if you're a teacher, your husband has been helping you out as a normal teacher. You go to school, come back. You're rising up, headmistress. You go to school, come back. At the point where you now own a school, that's when he now feels like, I should stop doing what I used to do for you to now come and continue with the duties at home. Are you getting me? Because it looks like now, for the fact that you became successful, or maybe you grew to a certain level, you now feel like a boss. Maybe that is what the threat is. Not that she was not doing her duties again. Because that's the concern. Like I said, if he was not doing it before, kudos, you cannot force him to come at that point to do it. But he has been doing it since, even right from when she has been down. So now when she is there, that she requires more support, that's when he feels like he's no longer giving any support at all.
But Chidinma, do you know that can also be an individual thing? It can just be someone that is just like that. I've seen a man who supports the wife. This story you just narrated, I have seen such a story. Despite the woman was growing and he was meant to be threatened, but he was not. He found every reason to want to. In short, he's so proud of his wife that even if he goes out, he tells his friend, "This is my wife." They just promoted
you see what him. You see what I'm saying.
People are different, just like what you said.
Individual difference.
So why was he threatened? He was threatened. Her salary is not in millions. Why?
No.
Are they the only ones that feel okay to have salaries?
No, I don't agree with that. There's something, men, they have this ego is natural. So, and for women, they have a natural ego, and then for women, we have this natural nagging.
No, I have ego too.
We have this natural nagging symptom a bit. It's how we control it. And if you're able to control it, everything will be fine. So when you're sensitizing the men on how to keep supporting the women, same thing goes to the women. You need to sensitize them that when you get there, don't forget where you're coming from, and don't forget who you are meant to be in your home. I don't know if just to make it balanced.
Sorry, I saw a video on social media and a girl was confused. She asked somebody, I think they went for a program or something. She said, how do I know the right person? And the person replied and said, I can't give you a perfect answer to that. But what I will tell you now is that don't go for someone that can accommodate who you are right now. Go for someone that can keep accommodating who you will be
as you grow
tomorrow, as you grow. Because if you stick with someone that accepts you right now, you will be limited. By the time you exceed that boss he has put you inside, there will be a challenge. But if you give someone, if you meet someone that keeps thinking future, that's why it's okay. There are some ladies don't like men that push them. You know, we like our comfort zone. I'm here right now. Just leave me. Let me live my baby girl life. I want to be here. When you now meet men that ask you, when are you doing your master's? When are you doing your PhD? I'm like, oh, wow, like, what's your problem? Why are you asking me all this question? So what's your goal for the next 5 years? I'm like, just leave me. You get that kind of, some people are like that. So he says, don't be comfortable with people that would not push you.
Sure.
So I think some problem that some people have faced, even forget marriage, even in relationships, you've had people that fall out as friends because what? envy, jealousy.
Jealousy,
She's doing more than me.
doing
She's
more
my
than
friend.
me.
She now feels that she's any more than me. Even from the male gender, things like that happen. There was a girl in school. The guy was always, he just liked her as a friend, bestie and stuff. He would take her out, sponsor her outing. So he felt like she was always with him.
Okay.
Every time he needed a friend, he would always call her. She would go out because he has the money to spend. When she now got the money and she could choose to go out whenever she wanted to, he had a problem with it because he couldn't subject her to what he wanted her to do again. So I think it all boils down, like you guys have said, maybe individual differences and the mindset of people. But before we round up, I want us to talk about the benefits of this gender equality. If we're fighting for it, we've seen the challenges. So how would it benefit us and the society at large?
Okay. The benefit of gender equality to everyone, if you educate a woman, sometimes some people have, you see, having female as children. I want to use children for example, not having a male gender at all. You get to look at it that who take care of my house tomorrow, take after the name. But this era now, you've seen
women doing the most.
What women are doing,
exactly.
Even doing more than the men.
The men, true.
Because before the man will remember his family, the lady have done that.
Exactly.
So that is one of the key benefits. Okay. You know, she will definitely remember home. And then another benefit is when you educate a girl child, it brings development because why I said development, the community cannot just do alone with the other gender.
Okay.
Because women make things happen.
Okay.
That's the fact. Women are full of ideas, good ideas. So I see it as new ideas coming in when a woman is being educated. And then I want to key into this technology aspect.
Digital.
Yeah, digital aspect also. If you are able to educate your female child, it will bring a lot of access to digital world also. You know, it's an eye opener to even those that are around her. So girl child education is a key, is something that we need to keep fighting
to embrace.
For. Yeah, to embrace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think Gerald is kind of enough to round up at this point. You have something else to say?
Okay, I wanted to say, most men, they don't believe in this gender equality. Somebody said it can never work. But how can this be sustained? I know people have been fighting for it for a very long time. How can this gender equality that have started, how can it be sustained?
Okay. Just as she said, that issue of sensitization. We can't get tired of sensitizing them. Sensitizing both the female and the male gender. Like what my foundation does is to ensure women gain that relevance and then get educated and empowered. So they really need to understand that women are here to, you know, help you grow as a man. So it takes a lot of advocacy, a lot of sensitization, a lot of mentorship, because what we do is mainly mentorship and sensitization. That's in GPF. So it takes a lot of sensitization. We have to keep doing that sensitization for them to understand the essence of gender equality. So it's not something we should get tired of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show. Thank you for sharing your
hosting me.
insights with us.
Thank you.
And I think at this point, like Pamela said, we've been dragging this matter. It's not a matter of today. I hope we'll come to a point where we can agree on something. And like they say, when you train a woman, you train a community. Because one thing I notice about women is that they don't die with their knowledge. They don't die with what they learn. They try to impact the people around them. Generally, women are teachers. They help develop the environment around you. So it is not a waste to train your female child. Your female child should go to school, just grant her access to everything a man is entitled to, and just watch her fly. Exactly, because they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. They try to prove it right, they try to prove it wrong and stuff. But just give her the opportunity to do it and see what she will make out of it. And that's all we can take on today's episode of Engendered on KAFTAN TV. Do well to join us next time for an interesting episode. I remain Chidinma Ufomadu.
And I would say to the men out there, do not get threatened by any woman. They are out there to help you and to support you grow better. I am Pamela Ajaero.